I am in disbelief. The game just ended. Oh my God. .2 was left on the clock. They just handed it off to Towns, and Towns obviously couldn't get a shot up a .2. Oh my Lord Jesus Christ. The Pacers just stole. And I don't even mean stole in like they outperformed. No, they stole this game in MSG from the Knicks. Incredible game. Maybe the best of the playoffs that I have witnessed so far. The score was 115 to 101 with about 4 minutes left. 14-point lead, 4 minutes left. And the clutch player of the year couldn't close it. As a matter of fact, I think we should take the clutch player of the year away from Jalen Brunson and hand it to Aaron NESMITH. Yeah, if you told me Aaron NESMITH, by the way, my hair is absolutely horrible. I was up in a bonnet. I was going to bed. Yeah, Aaron NESMITH just I don't even know how to describe what I just saw from Aaron NESMITH. Tracy McGrady-esque in every way, shape, and form. I don't even know what 15 in the last 2 minutes. It felt like I don't know. I mean, he scored. I'm counting it now. He scored. I believe that's 20 points in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. The most incredible. I don't even know how to describe this. I watched Aaron NESMITH play on my Boston Celtics for a couple of years, and for him to turn into this player who has become one of the best role players in basketball and to literally be the one to win them a playoff game. I'm not trying to be exaggerative or any. Is that even a word? I don't even know. I'm not trying to exaggerate. He quite literally won them this game tonight, and I'm still in disbelief. I don't even know what to say, bro. Pascal Siakam looked straight up awful tonight, and they still came out of there with a win. And you know I don't usually throw refs around. I hate the whole the refs did it blah, blah, blah argument. I think it's lame as hell. But when I say this, I don't mean to exaggerate. The Knicks crowd chanting refs you suck is the most look yourself in the mirror moment I've ever seen. If you watch the first 3, 4, even the fourth quarter, every quarter of this game, you would know that the Knicks had the whistle going, man. There was a Pascal Siakam layup attempt where he got sideswiped by OG Anunoby in the second quarter. No call at all. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns took almost as many free throws as the Pacers team, it felt like. I believe the final ballot ended up being, 23 to 28? And if you exclude garbage time free throws, 28 for the 28 free throw attempts for the Pacers, and Cat and Brunson combined for 25 free throw attempts. So for the New York crowd to chant, refs, you suck, check the mirror. Please check the mirror. The Knicks had the incredible whistle going for them all night, it felt like. And I'm never the type to say the refs had, the refs were doing this or that. We don't blame the refs around here typically. But when I say that the Knicks had the better whistle for a majority of the game, I'm not being exaggerative. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about Aaron NESMITH's game. And they look dead in the water. They subbed in freaking Ben Shepherd. I thought that was the we lost cigar, like that guy where it's like, okay, we probably lost, just put him in. Ben Shepherd comes in. I don't even know if he does anything, but he's out there and he's a catalyst for the Spark despite having 0 points and I believe 8 minutes played maybe. It felt like he was a catalyst, and he didn't even really do anything. But oh well, the Knicks blow it in the fourth quarter. You still got overtime to clean it up. It looked like it was going good for them, if I'm being honest. Jalen Brunson hit a nice shot, and they went up, I think, 3, and I was like, okay, they got it back in their rhythm. Here's the official count. The Pacers trailed the Knicks by 15 with less than 5 in the fourth quarter. Aaron NESMITH had about 20 points in less than 4 minutes of play. Just incredible stuff from Aaron NESMITH specifically. It's crazy that I'm not mentioning anybody else because Tyrese Halliburton had a big 3 in there as well. But Aaron NESMITH, 6 threes, and then 2 made free throws as well. 2 very big clutch made free throws. And speaking of free throws, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, I'm locking you in the gym. Y'all are going to sit at that free throw line for at least a day until the next game starts. I don't want to see you eating. I don't want to see you laying in bed. You're going to be at the free throw line all day, all night, practicing them you-know-whats. Props to Andrew Nembhard. He was clamping Jalen Brunson down the stretch here. There was one specific play where Jalen Brunson kind of was maneuvering a screen, and this was more Miles Turner than Andrew Nembhard, but Brunson fell to the floor, and then Nembhard, I believe, was the first one to the floor, jarred it free. McHale ended up getting it, losing it. It was an absolute madhouse scramble. The entirety of overtime was. This, again, for no exaggeration, has been the best game I've watched. And Can I be completely honest? With about 8, you could say, about 9, 8 minutes left, I was like, all right, you know what? I'll back screen this one. And I went and watched baseball. And, I made the cardinal sin of turning off a Pacers game. Well, not turning off, but kind of not watching a Pacers game when they're down 1,000,000 because they just consistently do this, it feels like. Andrew Nembhard had a nice play where he drove to the rim on Brunson, knowing Brunson was in that foul trouble in overtime to put the Pacers up 1. Like, that's such a smart play. Andrew Nembhard is such a smart basketball player, like in general. And if you saw how he defended Brunson in that last possession, it was very, it was beautiful defense, honestly. You know, Brunson gets a fadeaway 3 off. Awful look. Can I be frank? Awful look. Clutch player of the year, I get it. That's an awful look. Towns ended up getting a clean look, though, after Mikal got the offensive rebound. Again, not even close. The thing was front rim as hell. To Obi Toppin, who ended up being huge in this game. What did he finish plus-minus wise? I can pull the box score right now. What did he finish with plus-minus wise? Because I promise you it wasn't enough. He was a plus, what is this? Obi Toppin +9. Wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. The putback dunk in overtime, I stood up out of my chair and damn near screamed. That was an incredible timing. That was incredible timing on a putback dunk. I haven't even mentioned Tyrese Halliburton's shot. Oh my God. I saw people talking about like Kawhi 2019. I can see that. I also see, maybe this is just a niche Celtics fan in me, but I see Avery Bradley 2016 game 3 or 4 against Cleveland. Not enough rim, but kind of the same thing where it caressed the rim. And I said before the series started that Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby were going to have to be big factors into the series. And if I'm being honest, both of them were net negatives in this game so far. OG Anunoby's three-point percentage in these playoffs has to be atrocious. Mikal only attempted 1. That feels weird. But OG Anunoby hasn't been able to click in this playoffs. Nothing really changed in that regard. He was very bad. Same with Mikal Bridges. He wasn't very good either. Speaking of Andrew Nembhard, he also jumped the passing lane on that last turnover. It was an overturned non-turnover. I don't even know how to describe it. He jumped the passing lane. He tipped it, and then it hit Brunson's fingertips. Again, incredible play. Just absolutely insane down the stretch for this Pacers team. They locked in defensively, and like I said, Pascal Siakam for 4 quarters looked lost, bad. Any other word like that, and they still managed to get the win, despite their second best player being very bad. And again, their second best player ended up being Aaron Nesmith. And then on the last, I don't want to call it the last play, not the last play because the Knicks had the last play, but there was no one on the inbounder on the Pacers inbound, the last inbound for them. There was no one on the inbounder, and they let a wide open Obi Toppin catch it. Set a screen right off the catch. So as soon as he caught the inbound pass, he was already screening into a dribble handoff for Nembhard. He comes off the screen. Mitchell Robinson goes to NESMITH, and it might have been Josh Hart. I don't know. I can't really get the replay right now. But nobody went to Obi Toppin, who set the screen, and it led to a wide open dunk, which, again, Knicks fans, you can't blame the whistle when the game should have been over right there, because that was a foul. Mikal Bridges fouled him on that dunk attempt. Obi Toppin was clearly hacked, and they didn't call it. If Obi Toppin gets an and 1 there, he makes the free throw maybe, 4-point game, it's over right there. They don't even really get a chance to tie the game, right? Again, I get the goaltend might be frustrating for a Knicks fan, but in that same breath, it should have been over right there. Mikal Bridges clearly fouls Obi Toppin. But once again, I don't like the look Jalen Brunson got. I know he's, again, clutch player of the year, blah, 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 but that's a really tough look, and there was plenty of time left. There was like 12 seconds left. By the time Mikal got the offensive rebound and kicked it back out to Towns, there was still 7 seconds left on the clock, I think. So it wasn't the best look when he had all the time in the world. No one really even came to set a screen for him or anything. There was no movement on that play. It was just Brunson go dance. And as much as I love Jalen Brunson, it's a tough shot. And it's Andrew Nembhard guarding him. And I don't know. I really don't like that he kicked out at the end trying to get that foul on Nembhard. I don't like that at all. Props to Rick Carlisle for keeping that challenge in his back pocket, I guess. He never really needed it throughout the fourth quarter, but he kept it in his back pocket and ended up winning them the game, essentially, because if he can't challenge that out of bounds call, who knows where this game ends up. Again, this has been the craziest game of the season, and I don't even have a ton to say about it because I don't think there was one specific moment. Usually I can point to like a turning point, and you could say when the first Aaron Nesmith 3 dropped, but again, I didn't really like, even then I was like, okay, that what, it cut it to 8 or something like that, and I was like, all right, we're still in business, but I don't know. It was this is the most crazy flurry I've ever seen. Jalen Brunson had some bad turnovers late too. How many did he finish with in terms of turnovers? 7. He finished with 7 turnovers, 5 assists. He's not a high assist guy anyways, but he had 7 turnovers, sloppy basketball from the clutch player of the year. And I think that's, I don't know whether to credit the defense or just to say, hey, it was his off night in the fourth quarter, whatever. But when you live and die by the fourth quarter, well, every once in a while, you're going to die in the fourth quarter. I mentioned Siakam being lost, but I remember he had a couple of nice steals. He had one on Jalen Brunson. I think he had 2 on Jalen Brunson, actually. Pascal Siakam, despite, again, being very bad for a latter half of this game, he also found Aaron Nesmith for another one of his 53s. He had an assist on that. Pascal Siakam, like I said, was very bad for a good portion of this game, but he kind of cleaned it up later. He had big free throws, I think, 2 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, shout out to Pascal for really turning this game around for what would have been a one that fueled Gilbert Arenas. If you saw Gilbert Arenas go on First Take or whatever the hell, and he was like, Pascal's game hasn't developed. Well, it really hasn't if you watch the first 3 quarters, but if you watch the fourth quarter, you watched a guy who really didn't score the ball, but still managed to have a big impact on the game. Props to Obi Toppin because he was a big helper on the glass. Mitchell Robinson was cooking them in the first half, and Mitchell Robinson in the fourth quarter kind of felt like he got negated. Not by Obi Toppin by himself, but it felt like a lot of the misses, Obi Toppin was the one corralling them. I believe he finished with 10 or more rebounds, so props to him as well. A lot of the Pacers players, I guess you can't do it on your own. You know, there isn't one specific, well, you know what? Again, I keep saying it's a team effort, but not one specific guy, but then I look and I see Aaron Nesmith going absolutely ballistic. I can't put into words what I just saw from Aaron Nesmith. At least I just want to give a special shout out to Tyrese Haliburton. He had a really big 3 to cut the lead to 11. He also had a couple of big assists late. Like, there's so many players on this Pacers team that I could throw shout outs to because it takes a lot to overcome a lead like this. Like, it was like 11 with 2 minutes left. Like, there's so many things I could say, but I think I'm just stumbling over my words because I don't know what to say. Josh Hart, he was stumbling bad, just like me talking when Aaron Nesmith took that 3 over him. Mitchell Robinson played well, but once again, once you drag him out of that paint on the defensive end, it gets a little spooky. They were exploiting that a lot down the stretch as well, I felt like. Overall, just a really good game for Indiana, and that feels good for them to steal game 1 because, well, game 2, you got to expect some adjustments. I'm not really sure what they are for the Knicks, though. When Mikal and OG just aren't playing well, what's the fix there? What's the fix? When Mikal Bridges got dropped on that screen before the Haliburton 3, what's the fix on that? I don't know, man. For a while, Towns wasn't coming up enough, and that was the issue, at least in the first couple of quarters. Again, I don't know what the fix here is for the Knicks when somebody like Aaron Nesmith just goes nuclear like that. I don't know. There's some encouraging signs for the Knicks because, well, Aaron Nesmith ain't doing that twice, right? Maybe. I don't know, maybe? Yeah, but if it happens twice, I'll be floored. But for the Knicks, it's like, hey, you got a good game from Jalen Brunson, you got a good game from Karl-Anthony Towns, you got even decent campaign minutes, for Christ's sake, and it still ended up in a loss, man. I don't know. Aaron Nesmith was in the locker room sacrificing children or something. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. He has... they were saying he sacrificed Jim Irsay. That's nuts. But I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, incredible game. Props to Tyrese Haliburton. Props to Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard. The top 3 in their rotation, I mean, the top 4 guys played great today. You know, they didn't even put Miles Turner out on that last defensive possession just because I think they wanted to be more switchable, which makes sense to me, especially when you're down 3. Pretty smart move by Rick Carlisle. I like it. Yeah, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, stay around for more post-game recaps. I'm going to go catch the game. I'll see you guys in the next one.